Krishna श्रीमदे श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की आचार्य हरदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम प्रदान की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की मायापुरम धाम की कुरुक्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगमय की श्री श्री राधा रास बिहारी लता विशाखा की श्री श्री सीताराम विष्णुमान की श्री श्री गौर निताई की श्री प्रभुपाद की अनंत बड़ी वैष्णव की और गरिष्ठ श्री गुरु वो दरवाजा बंद करके रखा लाइव आ रहा है कि नहीं? हाँ हाँ 49 right? ओम नमो भगवते Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Asakta buddhihi sarvatra jitatma vigataspruhaha Naishkarmya siddhim paramam Sannyasena digacchati. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigataspruhaha Naishkarmya siddhim paramam Sannyasena digacchati. बोलिए असक्त बुद्धि सर्वत्र जितात्मा विगतस्पृहा कर्म सिद्धिं परमां संन्यासेनाधिगच्छति. असक्त बुद्धि सर्वत्र जितात्मा विगतस्पृहा संन्यासेनाधिगच्छति. जितात्मा विगतस्पृहा नैष्कर्म्यसिद्धिं परमां संन्यासेनाधिगच्छति. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Swami Sri Prabhupada. One who is self-controlled and unattached and who disregards all material enjoyments can obtain by practice of renunciation the highest perfect stage of freedom from reaction. Real renunciation means that one should always think himself part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and therefore think that he has no right to enjoy the results of his work. Since he is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, the results of his work must be enjoyed by the Supreme Lord. That is actually Krishna consciousness. The person acting in Krishna consciousness is really a sannyasi, one in the renounced order of life. By such a mentality, one is satisfied because he is actually acting for the Supreme. Thus, he is not attached to anything material. He becomes accustomed to not taking pleasure in anything beyond the transcendental happiness derived from the service of the Lord. A sannyasi is supposed to be free from the reactions of his past activities, but a person who is in Krishna consciousness automatically attains this perfection without even accepting the so-called order of renunciation. This state of mind is called Yoga Rudha, or the perfection stage of yoga. As confirmed in the third chapter, Yastva Atmarati Nevasyat, one who is satisfied in himself has no fear of any kind of reaction from his activity. Om Ajnanandasya Jnananjana Sadarvaya Chakshuruname Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Namovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamailam Tadadi Svapadantinam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Rudapadalam Shri Guru Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sadhajatam Sadhanam Sachitam Sadhaitam Sadhutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Evam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Savanayana Shri Shakamatasha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopikakanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalparupasya Upasindhuvayevacha
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
This is a theme of Bhagavad Gita, which is very difficult to accept. Right? Very difficult. If you accept this, then you are successful 100%. What is that? Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. As a part and parcel of Krishna, I have no right to enjoy independently. So that is our disease. All of us having. Right? I want to enjoy separately from Krishna, independently of Krishna. But what is real renunciation? Prabhupada says that I have no independence to enjoy separately because I am a part and parcel of Krishna. Right? In ISKCON, the most famous shloka is Bhoktaram Ejanapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Surudam Sarvabhutanam Atma Mam Shanti Muchasi. Right? But so that is the peace formula. Hey. आवाज नहीं निकलना चाहिए. And the most difficult thing, right? Where is the peace? Even in ISKCON also there is no peace. Right? Huh? Why? Because we only say everybody, you know the shloka? You know the shloka? Huh? You know, anybody knows the shloka? Huh? Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. Yeah. Right? So in 1965 or 66, in front of UNO, they have some peace because Vietnam War was going on and people are very unhappy. There was peace processions and all. So Prabhupada also said, okay, let us also protest. You know, then they, in New York, they were having play cards and all. The real peace formula. Then Prabhupada wrote an article. Then based on this verse, Bhoktaram Ejatapasa Sarvalok Maheshwari Surudam Sarvabhutanam Shanti. One who knows that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. One who knows that Krishna is the controller of all three planet systems. And one who knows that Krishna is the dearmost friend of all living entities. He attains peace. Right? He attains peace. But it's only like a parrot, you know. He keeps saying. But what is the meaning of Krishna is only enjoy. That means I should not enjoy. What is the meaning of Krishna is the friend of all living entities. Dearmost friend of all living entities. Huh? You have friends? Huh?
One is thinking about
Your friends?
Yes, only.
You have friends? You have friend to some people? So that is the wrong process. You should not think that somebody is my friend or I am his friend. Krishna is the real friend of all living entities. So our duty, Prabhupada says, if you think that you are a friend, then it is your duty to introduce that person to Krishna and then take a back seat. You tell him Krishna is your dearmost friend. And Krishna is the proprietor of all three planetary systems. Right? Do you think this Ambani will agree? He said, I have built it. I have built this empire. There are many people who say, Prabhuji, I came with 100 rupees in the pocket. इतना बड़ा empire खड़ा किया. In Mumbai, many people they have these stories, rags to riches stories, like that. So everybody thinks that I am the owner of these companies. I should enjoy it. But Krishna is the real owner of all the. So when we understand this, Prabhupada says in 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, one who controls his senses, right? Such a person, he is not harmful to anybody. And such a person is Vishuddhatma, completely purified soul. Understand? Unless I control my senses, I cannot be a real friend to anyone. Yoga yukto Vishuddhatma, Vichitatma, Jitendriya, Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma, and Karoti, right? Kurvanapi, Kurvanapi Nalipit. Kurvanapi Nalipit. Right? So Yoga Yukto. Yoga Yukto means in the Krishna Prabhupada says that Nayava Kinchit Karomiti Yukto Manyeta Tattvavit. You know what is the definition of Tattvavit? I want all of you to become Tattvavit. Who is a Tattvavit? Means I want a definition, not the translation.
One who understands that even a leaf will not move without
Wow.
his action. Nobody knows the leaf now.
Implement in your life. Implement it. For a small things, implement it in your life. Yeah, you tell me.
One who understands that even a leaf will not move without the sanction of the Lord, then he's a Tattva. He's a knower.
Yeah. Without sanction of the Lord, nothing can happen. Right? So Srila Prabhupada gave the example of his spiritual master, his divine grace, Bhagavad master. Even though he had a reserved ticket, somebody would ask, are you going to Puri tomorrow? He would not say in affirmation, I am going. He says, he would reply that I am, if Krishna allows, I will go. That is his answer. Krishna allows, I will go. So without sanction of Krishna, we cannot go. Right? I think 2-3 years back, I think 2019 or something, all these people were going for Saujanya Yatra. South India?
Kanchipuram.
Yeah.
And,
When did you go?
I think 5 years ago.
5 years ago. I had a very severe problem of some skin infection I got. So my ticket was reserved. I was supposed to go along with them. Then I was hoping that I'll become alright. Then the ticket was cancelled, and then again I booked a ticket hoping that in 2-3 days time I'll be alright. Then I said, okay, I will join you in Srirangam. So I booked a ticket to Tiruchinnappalli direct. Right? That also I had to cancel. So everything was said and I was supposed to go, but Krishna did not want me to go. Right? So we make plans. We make so many plans. I want to be happy like this. I want to enjoy like this. But Krishna has, without sanction of Krishna, we cannot enjoy without sanction of. So that is Tattvavid. So I want all of you to become okay. Have at least theoretically. Sometimes certain things happen which is not to my liking, or certain things like I wanted to do but I was unable to. Then that time I applied this philosophy. Okay, let me be Tattvavid. Right? Let me not become agitated. I think it is Krishna's will. Like that, you can pacify your mind without. Then we don't get into blame game. Otherwise, if I am in a situation, apparently somebody is the cause of that situation, then we try to blame that person. But actually, that person is not to be blamed. He is just an instrument. Like Prabhupada gave this example. Sir, Homi Baba, scientist. Right? He was going to Switzerland to attend a conference. That flight crashed and then he died. Right? So Prabhupada said he had plans to go and do all the plan, but Krishna had a different plan. He did not want him to reach there. That is where he got killed. So we should see the hand of Krishna behind every hand. Right? Before, like that. So that is Tattvavid. Very beautiful. You can go and read that lecture. Prabhupada gave a lecture on this verse. Or you can hear that lecture, 5th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Very beautiful lecture. Actually, 5th chapter Bhagavad Gita lectures are very wonderful, out of this world. I really like them. 5th chapter Bhagavad Gita lectures. Very nicely Prabhupada explained. That is why actually if somebody asks me which is your favorite chapter, I will say 5th chapter because I like that chapter like it. I know all the verses and meanings and I don't know if anybody says like that. But because I have read Prabhupada lectures very thoroughly, deeply and very interesting. Prabhupada lectures. Anyway, every chapter in itself perfect. Somebody knows 12th chapter. Just by the 12th chapter reading, one will become perfect. Like that. Anyway, so the next verse, Yoga Yukto, Vishuddhatma, Vijitatma, Jititma. So what is meant by Yoga Yukta? Right? Yoga Yukta means one should be engaged in Krishna's service all the time. Right? Vishuddhatma means purified soul. Vijitatma. Vijitatma means one who controls his senses. You can say one who is control his mind, and then Jitendriya, one who controls his senses. Such a person, Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma, he is dear to all living entities. I mean, all living entities are dear to him. Both. Right? So, under such circumstances, Prabhupada says, we don't want to exploit somebody. Right? So, in this love business, what is this? I love you, I love you. It is exploitation of. Man is trying to exploit a girl, and the girl is trying to exploit the boy. This is exploitation. But when we understand that every living entity is a part and parcel of Krishna, Prabhupada says, we are equal on the platform of being a servant of Krishna. We are all one. Oneness. This is oneness. Oneness means we are all servants of Krishna. Oneness means Krishna is the master. Then when we dovetail all our desires with Krishna's desires, that is called oneness. So these people, they have this Mayavadi, they have this concept. Atma is becoming one with super soul, like that. But actually, that is not correct, because Atma cannot become one with the super soul. In that sense, because Atma is Anu, Paramatma is Vibhu. Same thing, Prabhupada writes, Nadatte Kashit Bhavam, Nacheva Slokam. Ajnane Navrutam Jnana, Ten Mugin Chandra. That verse, chapter. In that Prabhupada writes, we are Anu, Krishna is Vibhu. We cannot fulfill our desires without sanction of Vibhu. So we are dependent. Right? So why there is frustration in our lives? Because why there is frustration in our lives? Because we cannot fulfill our desires. Right? Sometimes the boys are very frustrated because they did not get admission in IIT or IIM. Right? They write the exam, they have worked very hard, they prepared and they write the exam, but they don't get good result. So they are frustrated, like in Kota, so many boys and girls, they commit suicide. Why? Because they are frustrated. Right? If I am an independent person, right, I should be able to fulfill all my desires. You agree on that? Right? If I thought that I should be the IIT topper, then I should get admission. I should be topper. But you can only hope, right? So when I was studying intermediate +2, I was very bright. I was scoring very high marks. Then I prepared for JEE. Brilliant tutorials. The brilliant tutorials. I was getting Agarwal's. We are getting the study material, studying and everything. एग्जाम में जाके देखा तो पूरा जीरो आया होगा। तो एक प्रश्न समझ में नहीं आया, इतना टफ था। Now I understand, So in our lives we can understand that actually I am not a controller, I am not independent. But this illusion is there. Very difficult to give up this illusion that I am independent. So you will go and read that verse. Nadate kashitva nache vasuketi. Chapter 14. Prabhupada said, we are actually dependent on Krishna because Krishna is Vibhu, we are Anu. Right? So we are dependent on Krishna to fulfill our desires. Is it clear? So, by understanding the position of Krishna as the Supreme, by understanding the position of our dependence, right, we should actually start the process of surrendering to Krishna. If I am not independent, better to depend on Krishna. Then we will be very happy. Of course, even if our desires are not fulfilled by Krishna, because Krishna is very kind towards us. So, if some desire is harmful to us, even though right now it is giving us pain, Krishna doesn't fulfill it. What is that message you sent last time? I am very thankful to God that my ex has not. Now, sometimes we pine for some girl or boy, then later on we come to know, अच्छा हुआ है, उससे शादी नहीं किया. Whoever is married or what all troubles they are going through. Right? So that time we say, thank God, Bhagwan aapne bacha liya. Right? But when we are going through that process, we experience a lot of pain. Hey Bhagwan, aap itna निर्दयी कैसा हो सकते हैं? We give God is to God. Right? But later on we actually, so Krishna is our dear friend. So sometimes he doesn't fulfill our desires, or he doesn't make things happen which is to our liking at that moment, because it's not good to us. So that is the how we have to. There are 3 verses I like very much in Buddhist prayers. Right? Bhavesmin Krishmanana Avidya Kamakarma Bihi Shravana Smarana Arhanani Karishe Iti Kechani. Shrimanti Gayanti Gunanti Avikshashaha Smaranti Nandanti Taveditam Janaha Taveva Pashyanti Acharena Tam Bhava Pravaha Paramam Padambujan. So, Queen Kunti is actually very, if you read the Queen Kunti's prayers, she is trying to explain, she was explaining, giving one reason after another, why Krishna comes into this material world. You read very beautifully. Kechida ahurajam jatam punyashlokasya yado hi priyashanvaya malayasyeva chandana. You come because you want to please your devotees. You want to make Yadu Vamsha very glorified. because Yadu is your devotee, that's why you appeared in the Yadu Vamsha. Just like in Malay Desha, sandalwood. In Malay Desha, sandalwood is very famous. Right? Malaysia. Then, no, she says, maybe, Apare Vasudevasya, Devakyam Yachito Abdega. No, because Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you came. Achatam, Achakshemasya, Vadayacha Suratrisham. You came in order to kill the demons. And she was saying. Then, no. Maybe because Bharavataranya Bhuvanavai, because the earth is burdened by the demonic things. Because Brahmaji has prayed. Siddhanti Guri Bharena, Jatohi, Atma Bhuvartha, Brahmaji. Because Brahmaji has prayed for you, you have come. No. And she says,
I don't have feelings.
then she says, because avidya. What is avidya means? Because of ignorance. People are working very hard. Bhaves means klishyamanana. We all have bhavaroga. You know what is bhavaroga? Bhavaroga means this is a birth, death, old age disease. This is called bhavaroga. Bhaves means klishyamanana. Klishmana, because of this bhavaroga, we fell into this material world and we are suffering in this material world. Klishmana. Why? Because avidya kama karma. Because of ignorance, we work. We have kama. We have lust in our heart. Because of lust, we perform karma. What is karma? Activity which makes your next body. Which body? It could be a worm in the stool. Right? We don't like to see. But if somebody doesn't act properly, one can become a worm in the stool. Right? Of course, in ISKCON, I don't know whether it applies ISKCON to ISKCON sannyasis. But if a sannyasi falls down, he has to take birth as a worm in the stool for 60,000 lifetimes. इसलिए सब लोग बोलते रहते हैं संन्यास ले लो ऑर्डर हो गया वर्म इन द स्टूल बहुत ही बड़ा पनिशमेंट। हम लोग सोचते हैं सन्यासी मिल गया, सन्यास दंडा मिल गया तो सब लोग प्रणाम करेगा, दंडवत करेगा और सब लोग बुला के प्रसाद खिलाएगा, महाप्रसाद प्लेट पहुंच जाएगा। राइट, बट इतना बड़ा रिस्क है। सो काम कर्म भी अविद्या काम कर्म। So, my dear Lord, in order to establish this process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, Shravana, Smarana, Arhana, Karishye iti Kechana, that's why you came. Because people are suffering in this material. Then the most famous verse, Shrimanti Gayanti Gunanti Avikshashana, Smaranti Nandanti Tavehitam Jana, Tavayeva Pashyanti Achrena Tavatam, Bhava Bravaha Parama Padam. My dear Krishna, those who hear your Krishna Katha, Shrimanti, those who sing your Krishna Katha, those who remember your Krishna Katha, Shrimanti Gayanti Gunanti Avikshana or Smaranti Nandanti, Tavihitam Chana. Those who remember and those who become happy when others are singing your glories. Nandanti, Tavihita Jana. Tavayeva Pashyanti. Pashyanti का मतलब see. Achirena मतलब immediately. Padambujam. They can see your lotus feet. Then what will happen? Bhava Pravaha Paramam Padambujam. Right? They can overcome the waves of material existence. Right? What are the 6 waves of material existence? Anybody remember this? Bolo Sushil. 6 waves of material existence. Right? We are all,
Hunger, thirst.
yeah, hunger, thirst. Old age, death.
Disease.
No disease. Old age, death, lamentation, and illusion. Right. Remember, ये सब याद करना चाहिए आपको. Right? These are called 6 waves of material existence. What are they? Hunger, thirst, old age and death, and shoka and moha. Right? Remember? Tell.
Shoka, moha, old age, death, hunger, thirst.
उल्टा बताया. These are the 6 waves of material existence. Prabhupada says, Krishna is above these 6 waves of material existence. Utastha Swarochisha, Utkan Bhagavatam, Prabhupada comments. So this is the process, our process is, Prabhupada is saying, Shrimanti Gayanti, Grunanti Abhikshashana, Smaranti Nandanti Tavevitam Janana, Tavayeva Pashyanti Acharim Tavatam, Bhava Pravaha Paramam Padambujam. Apriyantyanastu Swakrite Gitam Prabhu Jihasis Hrudo Jivan Yesham Nachanyan Bhavatan Padapuja Parayanam Raja Suyojitam Nisan. This is a verse from Queen Buddhist prayers. Go and read the purport, very beautiful purport. Prabhupada is writing, in this material world, it is considered very abominable to become dependent on someone else. But in spiritual sense, to become completely dependent on Krishna is the most glorious thing. And Prabhupada writes that the scientists, they are trying to conquer this material nature and become independent, which they have completely failed. Nobody can become independent of this material nature. We should become dependent on Krishna. Just like Pandavas. Even though they are very competent, Prabhupada writes that work with valor but depend on Krishna at the same time. They are very competent fighters and all. They are fighting very nicely. But at the same time, for the result, they are dependent on Krishna. We can read that. So, Queen Kunti is saying that, my dear Krishna, Apyanjanastam Swakrite Gitam Prabhu, you have done all these things for me, for us. Now you are going away. We are completely dependent on you. Now, we all fought with all these kings, and then we are completely dependent on you. Now we are going away, even though these kings are at our animosity with us. No, we cannot exist. We cannot exist without you. Please don't go. She's saying. First canto, 8th chapter. Verse. The Pandavas are most fortunate because with all good luck, they were entirely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. See how Prabhupada started. In the material world, to be dependent on the mercy of someone else is the utmost sign of misfortune. But in the case of our transcendental relation with the Lord, it is the most fortunate case where we can live completely dependent on Him. The material disease is due to the thinking of becoming independent of everything, but the cruel material nature does not allow us to become independent. The false attempt to become independent of the stringent laws of nature is known as material advancement of experimental knowledge. The whole material world is moving on this false attempt of becoming independent of the laws of nature. Beginning from Ravana, who wanted to prepare a direct staircase to the planets of heaven, down to the present age, they are trying to overcome the laws of nature. They are trying now to approach distant planetary systems by electronic mechanical power. But the highest goal of human civilization is to work harder under the guidance of the Lord and become completely dependent on Him. Work harder, but completely dependent on Him. The Pandavas were the ideal executor of the standard of civilization. Undoubtedly, they were completely dependent on the goodwill of Lord Krishna, but they were not ideal parasites of the Lord. They were all highly qualified both by personal character and by physical activities. Still, they always looked for the mercy of the Lord because they knew that every living being is dependent by the consciousness position. The perfection of life is therefore to become dependent on the will of the Lord instead of becoming falsely dependent on the material world. Those who try to become falsely independent of the Lord are called anatha, or without any guardian, whereas those who are completely dependent on the will of the Lord are called sanatha, or those having someone to protect them. Therefore, we must try to be sanatha so that we can always be protected from the unfavorable condition of material existence. By the deluding power of this external material nature, we forget that material condition of life is the most undesirable perplexity. The Bhagavad Gita, therefore, directs us that after many births, one fortunate person becomes aware of that fact that Vasudeva is all in all, and the best way of leading one's life is to surrender unto Him completely. So this, you understand, very beautiful, right? Go and read that verse again. So, what Pinkulti is saying? We have to completely dependent on Krishna. That is the most fortunate position of a living entity. But in the material world, to depend on someone else is above. Unfortunate condition. Okay? What are the three things I always tell? Sukha Nidra, Anaya Smaranam, Vina Dainyena Jivanam. Bolo? Sukha Nidra? Bolo? Bolo Sukha Nidra? Anaya Smaranam, Vina Dainyena Jivanam. कृष्ण के कृपा के, गोविंद के कृपा के बिना नहीं होता है. Sukhaniddra means? Sleep as soon as you hit the bed, not keep on rolling the bed. क्या हो रहा है? Take a sleeping pill, or drink hot water. बहुत कुछ होते हैं, ये लोग बहुत कुछ करना पड़ता है लोगों को. राइट? नींद नहीं आता है लोगों को. राइट? क्योंकि mind is, Prabhupada says, mind is full of thoughts. If mind is not peaceful, you cannot sleep. Mind is so agitated, always thinking about something. And then, just like the bees hover around, thoughts hover around in our heart. And you just can't sleep. Sleep runs away. Right? But if you can sleep, right? Without any, अभी वो ओल्ड एज में थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम होता है, ओल्ड एज में थोड़ा नींद कम आता है और प्रॉब्लम इज रात को मिडनाइट में नींद खुल जाती है, फिर बाद में नींद नहीं आती। माय फादर कीप्स कंप्लेनिंग, कोई थोड़ा आवाज करेगा शॉर्ट, कोई आवाज करेगा। ऐसा घर में कोई ऐसा होता है क्या आवाज किया बिना एकदम पिन ड्रॉप साइलेंस रहेगा? कोई ना कोई आवाज करता ही रहता है। And so after that he won't get sleep, he says. Sometimes I sleep early, I'm very tired and कभी कभी ऐसा हो जाता है लाइट्स ऑन है, फैन दरवाजा खुला है, मैं सो गया 8:30-9 बजे से सो गया, नींद आ गई, बाद में 12-1 बजे नींद खुल जाती है, राइट? So in India, actually very fortunate we can sleep nicely, right? In America, the highest consumption of sleeping pills is in America. They don't get sleep. Most of the people, they don't get sleep. But we don't have so much problem, right? If I say how many people do sleep as soon as you hit the bed, 90% of you will raise your hands. Is it right? Huh? Do you agree? How many of you sleep? Do you sleep? Huh? The best remedy to sleep is, remember Krishna. जो कृष्णा माया देवी बोलते रहे सो जाओ, कृष्ण को स्मरण मत करो। अरे कभी कभी मैं भगवद गीता चैप्टर से I feel sometimes I that okay while sleeping, before sleeping I remember the verses and sleep. I start some chapter, by the time न जाए तो मुझे ये करना चाहिए, बाद में बता रहे भगवद गीता चैप्टर रह गया है, नींद आ जाता है, right? So the best way, if you are not getting sleep, take a book and read Bhagavad. Keep the book or phone next to you. If you are not getting sleep, start reading. And then you will fall very nicely asleep. Sukhanindra, Anayasmaranam. It is peacefully, नींद में चला गया, हरे कृष्ण बोलते गया, और बिना दाएंगे ना, साल्ट खत्म हो गया, आते हैं ना हमें, भाभी थोड़ा साल्ट दे देना, मौसी थोड़ा शुगर दे देना। कुछ लोग आते हैं, 100 रुपये भी नहीं है पॉकेट में, प्रभुजी, राइट? कोविड में आई गिव मनी टू मेनी पीपल, lot of people, some of the devotees who are doing service to in my department, they have lost their livelihood because everything is closed. Then these people, they don't have any savings, right? How they will eat? How they will pay rent? So a lot of people, they suffered during the lockdown. Anyway. But that is material life. But in spiritual world, dependent on Krishna is very glorious. Okay, then. So that is the gist of this verse. Depend on Krishna.